All right. Hello, friends, and welcome to another exciting episode of 14 Days with You. In the last episode, I found out that somebody other than Ren may be breaking into my apartment. I thought this entire time that it was Ren, our love interest, but it's not seeming like that is correct. Some of the hints that I'm getting are starting to not make sense, and I'm wondering if I am actually in some sort of danger. But let's hop into this one and let's see what happens next, and maybe if we can get some more information on who exactly is breaking into my apartment. Rainbow bandages, a red tunnel, blue eyes. That's all I can seem to recall from my dream as the blaring bzz, bzz, bzz of my alarm pulls me from my slumber. While I'm thinking about it, what's social media like? No, because why are planes so scary? I feel like it's going to rain soon, okay? Good morning, everyone. Let's make today another wonderful day. You make me so happy. I think, therefore I am. Looking for a man to send me money. Let's go. Oh, I was like, huh? Don't sleep in. No, I'm gonna be there, don't worry. Anyone want to keep me company later? Me. Hello, me. Loving the scenery in Corlin Bay. Interesting, because you're supposed to be on a work trip. Anyway. Almost groggily, I reach for my phone to turn it off and flop back into my bed. Curious, I glance at the screen to check the time, only to get blinded by the brightness of my wallpaper. Ugh. Wincing at the bright screen that practically flashbangs me, I crack open one eye to read the numbers on the screen. 9:05 a.m. So it wasn't too early then. I still had plenty of time to get ready for the day and possibly make some waffles for breakfast. The batter would expire soon anyway, and I didn't really feel like visiting the bakery this morning. With that plan in mind, I let out a sleepy groan and roll out of the bed. Muscle memory kicks in, and my immediate reaction is to open the blinds, oh no, for some much-needed sunshine. But when I glance at my windows, they were already pulled back. I went to bed with those closed. Listen. I don't mind if it's Ren in the middle of the night, so long as he keeps everything, like, he doesn't let me know, I guess. But now that I'm worried that it's not, because he was here last night, and he had no reason to come back in. Sunlight had been pouring into my room for who knows how long, and I didn't even notice. And when did I open them? I swear I closed the blinds last night. In fact, I was confident I did, because there was no way I'd be getting any sleep after finding out a potential stalker was creeping outside my window. Don't tell me someone broke in again. I try not to focus on the twang of dread slowly building up inside the pit of my stomach. I'm moving out. I am taking that key card. Please let me, game. I was about to get worked up again, and so early in the morning, too. This is not what I needed to start my day with. Deciding not to dwell on it for now. Why would anybody else be stalking me, though, besides Ren? Deciding not to dwell on it for now, I stand up and gradually work out the kinks in my body. No way was I going to let this ruin the outing I had planned with Teo, Eleanor, and Leon. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. We were supposed to go to the aquarium today. With that in mind, I make a mental note to dress appropriately as I walk over to my closet. Absent-mindedly, I run my fingers across some of my clothes before pulling something edgy from the rack. Let's go. My usual style has never let me down before, so I decide to stick with the theme and wear something similar. I pick out a few more matching pieces and accessories before giving them all a cursory glance. I like how it remembers what you wore during the first day. That's nice. I don't have to continuously choose. Feeling satisfied with the items I chose, I nodded approval before heading to the bathroom to change. Because I'm not changing in that fucking bedroom. I doubt the hot water would work this early in the morning, so having a nice, refreshing shower was definitely out of the question. Well, not that it really mattered. I still needed to buy some more shampoo anyway, and... Oh. Strange. Please don't tell me anything else. Was my toothbrush holder always this solid black color? I could have sworn it was gray. Why would you do that? Picking it up from the shelf, I give it a once-over. The Haruko print was still there, yet it somehow felt heavier in my hands. I have two thoughts. Either one, why would you do this? Ren's being a freak and wanted it because it's mine. But then got me a new one. Because he didn't want me to know that he had stolen the one that I use. But why would you do that? What sort of importance would you have on a toothbrush holder? Second thought, there's something inside the toothbrush holder. But then again, I don't exactly go around meticulously measuring how heavy my items are in the first place. Geez, today seriously was a day of overthinking, huh? Well, whatever. Putting the holder back on the shelf, I focus my attention back on the reflection of myself in the mirror and give an appreciative nod. The outfit I chose looked perfect, and once I put everything on, I'm worried there's a camera in my toothbrush holder. So it just changed in front of it. All I'd have left to decide on is how I should style my hair. What should I do? I don't... Oh. I was gonna say, I don't style my hair normally. What would we say? It's not quite short, not quite mid-length. Somewhere in between. I also have straight hair. An idea comes to mind, and I immediately set to work. It depends on the person, because some people think that mid-length is like shoulders, and some people think that mid-length is like middle of your back. I feel, you know what, I'm gonna say mid. Does it matter? What are we doing this for? An hour flies by, and I've somehow managed to get dressed, style my hair, and finish breakfast in record time. With nothing else left to do, I decide I might as well kill time in my entryway by picking out which shoes to wear. But just as I stop in front of the shoe rack, something near the front door catches my eye. Oh no. A letter? Odd. My door doesn't have a letterbox, so I usually have to visit the front desk to collect my mail. That is if Violet doesn't bring it up for me. So what was this doing here? Curiosity gets the better of me, and I find myself scooping up the letter and opening it. Inside was nothing more than a folded note written in red ink, and... Was that a lock of brown hair? That's not red ink, friend. That's not ink. What the... Did this belong to Leon? A chill runs down my spine once I realize what exactly this item is, and I hesitantly scan the rest of the note for answers. It simply read, "I think he might need a new lock as well, don't you think? And don't bother warning him about this. I'll know." Okay. But he's still alive. You just cut his hair in the middle of the night. Let's keep this between us, all right? It'll be our little secret. What the hell? Was this somehow tied to that loser who broke into my apartment a few days ago, or was it someone else entirely? Though admittedly, whoever this stalker was, they were honestly doing a pretty bad job at making their intentions clear. I mean, what exactly were they trying to accomplish by doing this? Did they want me to stay away from Leon as well, or just keep silent? What did they get out of blackmailing me like this? And why target Leon specifically? None of this made any sense. The only thing that I can think of is because I said yes to going to the aquarium, but I specifically didn't say anything about Leon. I just said that I was going. Because there was that one choice that's like, I'm only going to go if Leon's there. But I didn't say that. And now that I give it more thought, I still wasn't sure what they wanted from me either. Why go through all this trouble in the first place? It wasn't like I was doing anything wrong. Maybe moving back to the Bay wasn't a good idea after all. I mean, I left the hardships and turmoil of the city behind for a reason. I wanted fresh air, new faces, and a more easygoing lifestyle, things I'd never get in the city, and now it seems like history is only repeating itself once more. History is repeating itself? What happened when you were living in the city? I thought I could live my peace. Did I read that wrong? I thought I could live a peaceful life here with my new job and friends, and now I've somehow found myself in more trouble than I could ever ask for. And what's worse is that after denying my own paranoia for so long, this was all it took to convince me that my potential intruder really was real after all. Crap, maybe Violet was right. I remember brushing off her concerns because the idea of a stalker seemed so far-fetched to me, especially given Coral Bay's innocuous reputation, but now? Ugh. Admittedly, a big part of me wanted to see if Violet was still home, but another part of me kept me rooted in place. Would it be safe? What if the intruder was still lurking outside? Ack. Suddenly, my phone goes off and scares the living daylights out of me, so much so that I end up dropping it on the hardwood floor and clambering to pick it back up in a panic. Crap. With shaking hands, I forgo looking for any dents and cracks in the screen, as I try to discern the reason for the noise instead. The letter T shows up where the caller ID should be, alongside a suggestive contact photo of someone's abs that I don't remember taking, which could only mean one thing. Teo. It takes a few failed attempts, but I somehow manage to press the answer button and respond with a shaky tone. Hello? Well, dang, doll, you sound like you just woke up. Not planning on sleeping in, are you? What? No, Good, because I'm outside your apartment right now. Your neighborhood looks like crap, by the way. Smells like it, too. Did you seriously call me just to make fun of where I live? I called to tell you to hurry up. Unless you want to walk to the aquarium. In fact, maybe I should just... Ah, dang it. Well, if it isn't little Miss Priss, I'll buy her lonesome. Oops, she looks mad. Okay. Teo's voice practically oozes smugness as he taunts whoever he's talking to, most likely Violet, before I hear him adjust the phone and continue speaking. Oh wait, dollface, hurry up, won't you? He hangs up before I can mutter out a response. But still, knowing that Teo is downstairs somehow gives me the confidence to leave the safety of my home. Is it safe? Are we sure that's what we want to call it? Though not before committing the state of my apartment to memory and triple-checking my lock. I have half a mind to quickly snap photos of everything to see if anything was touched in my absence, but I doubt I'd have enough time. Still, if my stalker does decide to come back again, I'd want to know. But now that I'm thinking about photos, this gives me the perfect opportunity to splurge on some security cameras. I've been needing them for quite some time now anyway. With all this talk of violent crimes, dead bodies, and murder happening on the news lately, and now this intruder, I figured it'd be better safe than sorry. So, deciding to let Teo suffer. Go to the aquarium, bitch. Even just for a little bit, at the hands of Violet, I pull out my phone to scroll through some home security bundles on sale as I make my way towards the lobby. Please don't do that, watch where you're going. Teo ended up being uncharacteristically quiet throughout the drive, and if I were being honest, I appreciated the silence. It was definitely odd not having our typical playful banter, but it also wasn't something I needed first thing in the morning. He also doesn't seem to be in the mood to be disturbed, given how he clenches the wheel with one hand, while the other supports his head against the window ledge, like some angsty teen. So I try to settle further into the admittedly comfy seat of his luxury car, and focus my attention on the scenery as it passes by. Now I'm worried that, every single side character and their reactions and stuff, what does any of it mean? Does he just want to be quiet, or did something happen? It isn't long before the aquarium comes into view as Teo looks around for a decent place to park. We must have picked a busy day to visit, considering the amount of cars parked both outside and in the reserved parking area, though Teo seemed to have somewhere in mind. I watch as he drives straight past a very clearly labeled no-go zone and pulls up into one of the empty spaces without so much as a reaction. He doesn't even wait for me to get out before he opens his door and walks to the front of the car, and not wanting to be left behind, I quickly follow suit. Teo? I was about to question whether he was allowed to park in the employee zone in the first place, but given how he shamelessly pulls down one of the warning signs and tosses it into a bush, I figured that was my answer. It doesn't take long before he's right by my side once more, and ushers me towards the front entrance. I almost stumble over my feet as Teo pulls me along, but not before almost bowling him over as he abruptly stops in front of me. Look at that. Almost like a loyal dog, isn't he? Glancing in the direction he was pointing, I see Leon sitting on one of the benches as he absent-mindedly watches people go by. And once he catches sight of us, he immediately leaps to his feet and rushes over with a wave and a warm smile. Relief washes over me as I take in his relaxed and carefree disposition, and I never thought I'd be happy to hear Teo casually tease my friend with our usual playful banter. But seeing Leon, it meant that he was really safe after all, and I couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief at the thought. Still, was it really okay for me to be out in public like this? Now that I think about it, I'd be spending the entire day with my childhood friend as well. I guess it would be fine. It's not like the note told me otherwise. I suppose it's my stalker's fault for not being more thorough with their passive-aggressive letter for me. Maybe if they were more... no, what was I thinking? And where did this sudden burst of foolhardiness come from? I'd have to start taking this seriously, otherwise... It's a good thing he doesn't bite. Teo's voice pulls me from my thoughts, and I send him a playful eye roll in response. I doubt he takes any notice of it, though, since Leon's arrival takes up all of our attention. Heyo, you look good, sunfish. You're not so bad yourself, oarfish. Hello, I'm here too. Eleanor hasn't arrived yet? Scoffing at our playful dismissal, Teo cracks a joint in his neck and crosses his tattooed arms. However, he doesn't seem to stray from his spot, which meant that he still had an interest in our conversation. At his almost childlike reaction, Leon shoots his friend a cheeky, lopsided smile before continuing. I'm sure she's on her way. She said something about wanting to get her steps in our group chat. Isn't that why she didn't want Teo picking her up? And actually, I don't know if you realized, but you guys were 15 minutes early. Really? No thanks to Teo's speeding, I guess. And what about you? I'm guessing you had to walk all the way here, right? There's nothing wrong with getting a little bit of exercise in the morning. I'm sure Eleanor would agree. And I just got here, actually. Really? Because it looked like you were sitting on that bench for a while. I just sat down. Long enough to stretch your legs, huh? Okay, yeah, so maybe I did arrive half an hour early. But I was excited. It's been a while since I've been to the aquarium. Even longer since you've seen Dollface over here, I bet. Huh? Can you blame me? We've been separated for years. Now we're finally reunited again. It must be fate. No. Destiny. Playing along with Leon's dramatics, I lean against his side and clutch at the spot above my heart. It's written in the stars. You guys are genuinely so embarrassing. Hearing Teo huff once more, Leon and I both watch as he tries to distance himself by looking at the posters on the wall. No doubt feigning interest in it. It wasn't like Teo really cared much for marine life. All his world revolved around was wealth and luxury, giant tech companies, and probably starting fires. Yeah, definitely starting fires. Though, for a guy who spent most of his time in the shadow of his father's legacy, I had to hand it to him. Teo was seemingly more down to earth than other people I've met. He didn't have to spend time with us, but he did. And as much as he'd often joke about not wanting to affiliate himself with people outside of his tax bracket, Teo sure seemed to like hanging out with Jay, Leon, and me. I wonder, does he ever feel lonely? Before my thoughts can delve any further, I feel a gentle nudge at my side. Looking to my left, I see Leon peering at me with a curious expression. You know, I'm really glad you came, but I'm honestly also surprised you agreed to this. Surprised? What do you mean? Well, you know, is Ren okay with this? Ren? The guy we met at the pier the other day, he said something about being your boyfriend. Right. Yeah, sure, we'll go with it. Whether or not it was because I wanted to stake my claim over Ren or because he confidently declared himself as my boyfriend a few days ago, I couldn't help but let it slip. But Leon seems to pick up on the hesitance laced within my words, given how he inquisitively tilts his head and sends me a reassuring smile. Is it still a new thing for you? I'm sure calling someone your boyfriend must take some time to get used to. Take things at your own pace. It was strange hearing this kind of advice from Leon, especially after practically lying to him, but I wasn't going to say anything. We've been friends for so long, yet the topic of dating had never seemed to come up between us, much less something more extreme like settling down or getting married. When did that come up? At that, I recall a fond memory from my youth. A younger version of ourselves greets me as they innocently play a game of pretend on the playground. I can see Leon in all his boyish charm as he promises to marry me from atop the slide, before he slides down it and runs to my side in glee. He seems all too happy to run circles around me while he shouts to the skies about protecting me from bad guys, yet something else was missing from the scene. Something I couldn't fully remember. What was it? As long as he's chill with this, yeah? I wouldn't want any misunderstandings to happen. Great, I'd been spacing out again. Not wanting to offend Leon with my silence, I try to make sense of his words before coming up with a sufficient response of my own. Yeah, he's fine with it. Probably. Besides, I only agreed to this outing because Eleanor genuinely seemed like she wanted to go. And it's not like this is a date anyway, so... Hey, don't sweat it, Kit. No need to explain yourself either. I get what you're saying. I'm sure Leon cuts himself off when he notices something behind me, and when I turn around to look, I see Eleanor running up to the group with a flushed expression on her face. But as she draws near, she clumsily trips on a stray piece of cobble and tumbles forward. Ah! Let's go! Without thinking, I lurch forward to close the gap between us, but Teo's muscular arm beats me to it. Almost effortlessly, he reaches out to catch her, almost like those cliché romance movies, except not at all because Teo was allergic to anything romantic. A fact that's emphasized by the look of pure disdain on his face as he pulls my coworker to her feet. Eleanor seems to be blissfully enjoying every moment of it, though, seeing as she practically clutches onto his bicep while looking up with wide, sparkling eyes. In fact, I doubt she even was aware of our presence with how she stays rooted in Teo's awkward embrace. Looks like she really fell for him, huh? You're as bad as Jay with those puns. He's rubbing off on me. Come on, let's go see if she's okay. As it turns out, Eleanor really was okay, being cradled inside the arms of Teo. But the moment only lasts until Leon and I rejoin the group with a knowing smile on our faces. Teo aptly chooses not to say anything, and out of solidarity, or perhaps future blackmail, neither do we. And soon enough, we all found ourselves waiting in line to buy admission tickets. Eleanor happily takes photos of us while Teo scrolls through his phone, and Leon stands beside me to look at all the colorful fish in the small tanks. This is all rather exciting, don't you think? Really? It's just fish. Come on, mate, show a bit more enthusiasm, yeah? If you love them that much, wait till you find out what's at the beach. I want to apologize in advance for him. No, it's fine. I'm sure Teo has other interests that excite him. Fish just aren't particularly one of them. Want to know what makes me excited? Leon and I both share a look before rolling our eyes. Breaking taillights and slashing tires. Thought you were gonna go a different direction with that, okay. Wait. Slashing tires? Isn't that illegal? Probably. I'm just messing with you, princess. Loosen up a little. All too quickly, the light-hearted mood gets replaced with something serious as Leon's phone starts buzzing. Recognition flashes across my childhood friend's face as he looks at the screen, before he awkwardly scratches at the back of his neck and points towards the entrance with his thumb. Sorry guys, give me a sec. Without waiting for a response, Leon makes a beeline for the front door. After a few seconds, I see his figure emerge from outside the large windows, pacing back and forth on the sidewalk as he talks to someone on the phone. Judging by the solemn expression on his face, I can only guess that the call isn't a good one. I sure hope everything's alright. Too caught up in Leon's shift in demeanor, I barely notice how Eleanor's hand gently pushes Teo and I forward, so they can speak to the clerk at the front desk. Broad, tattooed shoulders now block my view from the window, which causes me to shift my attention back to the present. But Teo doesn't seem to notice my lack of focus, or perhaps he just doesn't care, as he pulls out a black card from his wallet and leans over me to hand it to the woman behind the counter. He could have gone without the nonchalant, smug look on his face, but I wasn't about to say anything when he was literally about to pay for my admission fee. But before I could begrudgingly thank him, Eleanor's excited voice cuts me off. Oh, do you suppose there'll be shows today as well? I saw some advertised outside. Oh yeah? I wasn't paying much attention to them. I hope there'll be penguins. Perhaps Leon would enjoy them. What about me? You? I don't suppose you like sharks. I can hear the clerk chime in with information on the latest hotspots and what shows were playing, but I shut it all down when I noticed Leon standing idly near the doorway, still sporting that concerned look on his face. Without missing a beat, I make my way over to his side and spare him an empathetic glance. I'm real sorry about that, Kit, but something's come up involving my mom at the hospital. Oh no, is everything okay? Yeah, no, my mom's fine. It's just some important paperwork I need to fill out on her behalf. You know, since Dad is working abroad and all. I'm so sorry, but I really gotta go. I'll try to come back as soon as I'm... Hey, don't sweat it, Leon. Focus on your mother first. I don't miss the way his entire demeanor softens at my concern. Leon looks as though he wants to say something serious, but holds himself back at the very last second. As if to compensate, I end up filling the silence instead. I'm sure I can survive third-wheeling Teo and Eleanor's date alone. Geez, I really owe you one. Actually, you know what? Here. Before I can refuse, Leon shoves a stack of small bills into my palm and closes his hands around it. You don't have to. Besides, Teo already paid for everything just now. Nah, I won't be hearing anything from you. If you won't accept it, then spend it all on something for me instead, yeah? Go to town in the souvenir shop. See if they have any sunfish merch in there. Alright. Thank you, Leon. No worries, Darl. But I really gotta go now, though. I'll tell Mum you said hi. Leon turns on his heel before I have a chance to respond, so he completely misses me waving him off. In his rush, he almost knocks someone over, but he quickly helps them regain their footing and apologizes before speeding off once more. Man, I sure hope everything's okay with his mother. But before I can dwell on it any longer, the sweet melody of Eleanor's laughter pulls me from my thoughts, and I turn back towards the group. I notice that Teo and Eleanor are now standing by the entrance, which also happened to double as a massive underwater tunnel, all while pointing to a school of fish swimming over their heads. When Eleanor notices my presence, she happily waves me over before her attention shifts towards the door behind me, no doubt expecting to see Leon walk back in and join us. It made sense considering how they missed his departure, but she snaps out of her curious gaze the moment Teo brushes a hand against her back to move her out of the way of a family passing by. But what truly shocks me is that he doesn't seem to move his hand. Instead, Teo leaves it there as he steps closer and blocks my coworker from my view. I hope this happens, y'all. I'm really hoping. I'm trying to push them together so much. He meets my gaze with an intense, unreadable expression, and I can't help but look away. What was that all about? Suddenly, the moment felt too personal for my liking, almost as if I shouldn't be looking at something so intimate. Turning away, I decided to channel my interest into picking out a roadmap from the brochure stand instead. If Teo and Eleanor are planning on getting cozy with each other, I needed to plan my escape route. But before I move away, I noticed a lone aquarium tank off to the side. It was far enough from the eyes of the people still waiting in the queue, but still close enough to the entrance to entice any passersby to come in and take a look. Inside were countless amounts of colorful fish, coral, and other sea crustaceans, and I couldn't help but look in awe of some of the bright marine life as they float about in the water. If only Leon could join us. I could almost hear his laughter at some of the sunfish-like creatures that swim by. Keeping the rest of the group in sight, I stray slightly to the right for a better vantage point. A group of neon tetras fish zip by. Whatever. And my eyes follow them as they swim around. They easily stand out against the bright orange and green corals, and especially the pink and blue. Wait, pink and blue? Who would have guessed? Peering closer to the glass, I catch sight of a familiar face on the other side of the tank. Oh no, I had no idea he was going to be here. Ren doesn't seem to notice me yet, seemingly far too entranced by the brightly colored creatures as they swim by. His soft eyes follow some of the smaller fish as they dart across the tank, before swapping over to the group of guppies swimming past. Suddenly, our eyes meet the moment the fish split up, and I watch as Ren's expression morphs from surprise into a sickeningly sweet look. He tries to say something, but his words come out inaudible due to the glass separating us. As if realizing, Ren instead points to one of the fish off to the side, before resting his hand on the glass and mouthing something else. I still can't fully understand what he's trying to say, that is until my eyes land on what he's pointing at. Catching me off guard, I watch in awe as a lone fish swims between us and captures both of our attention. Was that an angelfish? The fond memory from our time at the pier comes to mind, and I find myself thinking back to when Ren affectionately gave me the nickname. And had I known any better, I would have assumed he was thinking about the same thing, given the way his eyes crinkle and soften as the fish's scales shimmer underneath the artificial light. Too absorbed in how picturesque this all looked. What happened to the top of my screen? I completely miss Ren's swift departure. That is until he is rounding the corner of the fish tank and taking his place by my side. This used to always say day 4, and now it's just they took away my social media. No. My phone. That's so sad. Okay. Hi, Kit. Oh, there it is. Maybe it was just because I was in a CG. Okay. Oh, hey you. Fancy meeting you here. The first thing I notice is how Ren is tugging at his sleeve again, although he doesn't seem to shy away from my close proximity, nor seem to mind it as much. Those fish were pretty neat, huh? Yeah. Couldn't take my eyes off them. Hey, did you spot the angelfish swimming by? The what? Clownfish? I did. It was great. It was, huh? I couldn't stop looking as well. Yeah, I didn't even know they could be that color. Actually, this might sound cheesy, but after you mentioned the angelfish, it reminded me of our date by the pier, remember? How could I forget? It's one of my most treasured memories. Top 3, in fact. Not wanting to let this opportunity pass, I decided to tease Ren a bit. Oh, please, top 3? Don't laugh. If you get to be cheesy, why can't I? Well, in that case, if you get to give me a cheesy nickname like Angelfish, why can't I? Oh boy. You want to give me a nickname? Come on, it's only fair. Though to be honest, I don't really know any pink-colored fish. Dang it. Oh yeah? That's too bad. Don't think you can get away that easily, Buttercup. I'll think of something better. Eventually. 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 At that, Ren lets out a puff of laughter before returning his attention to the tank once more. He doesn't seem to stray from my side, though, and it's then I realize, what was he doing at the aquarium in the first place? Without missing a beat, I take a step closer and voice my thoughts. You know, I wasn't expecting to run into you here. Oh, really? Yeah, no offense, but you don't really seem like an aquarium guy. Is that so? I didn't have any plans for today, so I figured I'd do a bit of under-the-sea sightseeing to pass the time. Plus, I finished the book you recommended the other week, the one about the underwater city. I guess it inspired me to come here. Really? Yeah, definitely not because I'm here or anything. Did you like it? What'd you think about it? I enjoyed it, especially the part where... Oh, say, look at that. I don't think you read that book, bud. Ren isn't shy about how he leans over my shoulder to point at something outside my peripheral vision. I follow his finger, and between the driftwood and coral, I spot Eleanor and Teo standing awfully close together. I don't miss the way Teo sizes up Ren, even from a distance, before he tears his gaze away from us with an inaudible scoff. A surprised sound escapes the back of my throat as I watch Teo unabashedly run a hand down my coworker's side, but what truly shocks me is the way Eleanor boldly grabs his arm and loops her hand around it. No way. That's, wow. I honestly didn't know she had it in her. And while her confidence shocked me, it also sparked about a curiosity inside of me as well. Even though we all established that this wasn't an actual date, Eleanor still wanted to treat like one. But now that I think about it, isn't this similar to the date I shared with Ren at the pier as well? The next thing I know, I find my mind wandering to all the times I held Ren's hand as we walked down the boardwalk. And right now, it looked all too tempting with how it was casually resting against the glass. I could easily fit my palm in his... the palm of my hand in his, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind in the slightest if I were to reach out right now and... No, come on, Kit, what are you thinking? Although... Come to think of it, wasn't I the one who initiated most of the hand-holding during the moments we spent together? Maybe he'd be okay with it after all. Should I? What the hell? Bro, why the hell not? What am I doing? Before I can talk myself out of it, I reach out and slip my fingers against Ren's palm in the glass of the tank. His skin feels uncharacteristically coarse and rough against my own. But before I can question it, I brush against something cold and metallic instead. Daring a curious peek, I look down and notice a golden ring on one of his fingers. In fact, it appeared to look vaguely similar to the one around his neck, but as soon as I open my mouth to ask, Ren casually slips his fingers between my own to entwine them. He gives me a soft smile, almost as if he knew this was going to happen. Before Eleanor's voice pulls me back to the present. Kit, there you are. Why didn't you say anything earlier, Teo? Where'd pretty boy run off to? Princess over here said he had to leave earlier. Dang, if it isn't Buttercup. It's Ren, actually. Ugh, not this again. Before the two of them can have a chance to butt heads, I carefully step in and interrupt. Something came up at the hospital, so Leon had to go. Oh dear, I hope everything's okay. He assured me that everything's fine, so I wouldn't stress about it too much. I watch as Eleanor shuffles on her feet in contemplation before noticing the item still grasped carefully in her hands. That's a relief, but oh, What do you suppose we should do with his ticket then? Should I ask for a refund? It's fine. That's like loose change to me. I'll make it back in 45 seconds. Still, we shouldn't let it go to waste. Oh, I know. Eleanor's expression shifts from revelation to something more cheeky as she turns to me with a small, knowing grin. She leans close enough to whisper, but doesn't seem all that quiet about it. Here, why don't we give the ticket to your lover boy? Lover boy, you gotta be joking. Should I tell you all about how our lovely Kit has a secret admirer, and how he often rents out their books from the Eleanor. I feel like I'm missing some context here. Almost hastily, I snatch the ticket from Eleanor's hands and usher Ren inside the tunnel, away from my gossipy coworker and Teo's smug grin. I hardly notice the time passing with all the fun I'm having, and before I know it, almost 2 hours go by in a blur. I'd initially been so fixated on being a third wheel that I completely forgot about the exciting things people could do at the aquarium, like see fish. Eleanor seemed all too happy to snap pictures of everything, ranging from Ren and I petting some stingrays, Teo getting splashed by a seal, and all the giant sea creatures that swam around in the overhead tanks. By the time I noticed my feet starting to hurt, we'd all made it to the small food court conveniently placed at the end of the main attractions. Eleanor used this as an opportunity to use the restroom, while Teo wandered off to who knows where, so Ren and I were left to look for a place for all of us to sit down and rest. But we didn't get far before the light sounds of footsteps drew closer once more. Kit, Ren, there you are. Sorry for the wait, I ran into Teo earlier while he was talking to one of the tour guides. He's a friend, and I wanted to talk to him. You didn't need to wait for me. Oh, but you said you were lost and needed help with something urgent. Come on, princess, no need to act coy. Surely people say the same thing to you at the library, right? Well, yes, I suppose they do, but I don't see what that has to do with me waiting for you. Or acting coy, for that matter. You're adorable when you're clueless. Anyway, are either of you hungry yet? It's past noon, and I'm worried Teo won't put his pride aside and admit he's hungry. Excuse me? Oh, am I wrong? I could have sworn I heard your stomach growling earlier. Now who's acting coy? First of all, when did they reunite without me noticing? And secondly, was Teo embarrassed? There's no way I was going to let this opportunity pass. Aw, is the big baby hungry? Didn't eat breakfast this morning, did you? I did. Unlike you, I can afford to eat whenever I want. Though it came out blunt and harsh, I knew Teo was only joking. Then why don't I go and get us all something to eat? Any preferences? Allergies I should be made aware of? And why do you care, princess? You plotting to kill me or something? It's only natural to worry about the health of others. I wouldn't want to give you something you're allergic to. Besides, everyone deserves to be cared for. You're weird. What was that? I said wasabi. I'm allergic to wasabi. Wasabi, huh? I see. And what about you lot? Any preferences? Do you think they have any scones? I've been really having a bad craving for it recently. Interesting. I wonder why. Then in that case, I'll have a... Before I can voice my preferences, Teo cuts me off by pulling out his wallet and handing it to my coworker. Eleanor takes it from him without complaint, but pairs it with a curious look and a slight tilt of their head. Get whatever. I need to have a word with Dollface over here, okay? I don't get the chance to fully respond before Teo directs me towards the opening of the food court. But I barely get 3 steps away before I feel a gentle tug at my sleeve. Curious, I glance back, only to find Ren sporting a pout on his soft features. Relax, Buttercup, you'll get them back in one piece. Now that I think about it, it was kind of out of the blue for Teo to be acting like this. I mean, since when did he ever want to talk about something serious? With that revelation in mind, I offer Ren a reassuring look and give his arm a comforting squeeze. I'm sure it will only be a few minutes. Oh. His eyes flicker between me and Teo a few times before it lands on my hand, still resting on his arm, and he lets out an inaudible sigh. Okay, I'll wait for you here. No, stay where the princess can see you, unless you want her to freak out and think we ditched. Her name is Eleanor, you know. Wow, amazing. Whatever, come on, let's go. Without another word, Teo nudges me in the right direction, leaving Ren all alone and confused. Following closely behind, Teo leads me to a quiet corner near the food court, before turning around and boxing me in with his large arms. Excuse me? He casually leans his weight to one side before finally speaking. Hey, so I've got this fun idea. Seriously, I thought you wanted to talk about something urgent. Dang, could you be a little less loud about it? And as a matter of fact, yes, I do. No, you always say I've got an idea and it turns out to be something illegal like trespassing or vandalism. Isn't that the whole point of an idea? He was not serious. We are not about to discuss the logistics behind... Look, it's serious. I need you to help me make Ellie jealous, or whatever. Ellie or whatever jealous. She's getting a bit too clingy for my taste, and it might even get Buttercup to ease up on all that juvenile puppy love crap. You seriously don't think he's being too clingy? He's practically glued himself to your side the entire day. Don't you think that's kind of a roundabout idea? How would this even benefit? Trust me, this is for my own benefit, not yours. Little Miss Princess over there is treating me like I'm a dang child who needs to be supervised all the time, and I can't even tell if she's interested in me or not. Plus, you're not exactly... No, never mind. Either my idea works out and this gathering gets more interesting, or she realizes I'm not the type to be babied and backs off. Well, I had to jump through hoops and hurdles to understand it. Teo did have a point, but everything about his idea still felt wrong. Regardless of if I agree or not, if Eleanor saw us flirting, wouldn't she just assume that you're not interested in her at all? Besides, I'd never betray her like that. Who said anything about flirting? Crap, you really are into me, aren't you? Can't say I'm flattered, doll. Excuse me? All I was gonna do was ignore her for a bit, make them think you're more entertaining or something. I mean, it almost worked with that tour guide from earlier. But if you want to cling to my arm too, by all means, gorgeous, go ahead. You're so insufferable. So is it a yes or a no? I still don't know what you want me to do exactly. Teo's gaze shifts to something behind me before a light ignites in his eyes as he sends me a sly smirk. Oh boy. Just follow my lead. I barely have any time to process his words before Teo places a hand on the small of my back and pulls me closer to his side. His voice is louder than usual, and it's then that I notice Eleanor and Ren slowly coming into view. Tss. See that storeroom over there? It looks like it's unlocked. Wanna go check it out? What are you? Come on, doll. You're really not interested in having a bit of fun? Loosen up a little. All of a sudden, I feel my phone vibrate in my pocket, but just as I move to pull it out, Teo gives me a pointed look and I find myself stalling. No. At that, he peers at me with a bored expression before rolling his eyes. Don't be like that. Come on, Teo, this is a stupid idea. Stupid? You're joking. Look, as much as I want to help you out, I don't really think this is going to accomplish, well, anything. Besides, it doesn't seem fair to Eleanor either. Is that what you really think? Fine, whatever. I should have asked Buttercup to help me instead. That would have been funny. Got anything else to add? If not, let's head back. Without another word, Teo drops his hand and walks away, leaving me to trail behind. Also, just in general, no, I don't want to be in a storeroom with you. There you two are. Enjoy your little chat? Sure. Is everything alright? Just peachy. Teo shoots a wry glance in my direction as if to say, see, I told you so. but I brush it off with a sigh. Teo? Kit? While Eleanor shuffles awkwardly on the balls of her feet, Ren nudges my side and leans closer. Are you alright, Angel? Did Teo do anything to you? No, that's what he's annoyed about. No, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. You sure? Because if he did, I'll fucking kill him. No, never mind. At that, Ren takes a step back and looks at my coworker with a bright smile. So, about that food. Oh, that's right. Thank you for reminding me, Ren. Here, I'm sure we'll all start to feel better again once we've had something to eat. I hope you like adobo as much as me. Adobo? Is that foreign? Why, yes. It's a dish that mainly features chicken and rice, which I figured would be beneficial for you, given your build, after all. Interested in my body, are you? No. Well, yes, technically, but only because I'm concerned about your dietary requirements. You look like the type of person who takes care of their health. And my sister, Kiara, she was the one who introduced this dish to me while she was studying abroad. I really think you'll enjoy the taste. It's one of her top 10 favorite foods. Your sister again? Really? Sure, whatever you say, princess. Hand it over. With a groan, I knock my elbow against Teo's arm. Yet all it does is make him give me yet another one of those pointed looks. Anyway, here, Kit. I bought you the same thing as Ren. Hope that's okay with you. She was telling me all about how much you enjoy scones earlier. But before I can take the takeaway bag from her grasp, Eleanor loops her arm in mine and tugs me away from the group. Oh boy. There's a cheeky grin on her face, which could only mean one thing. But first, what did you two have to talk about? And there it was. Once my gossipy coworker got started, there was no holding her back. Nothing important, just Teo needed some help with something. Oh, is everything alright now? I watch as Eleanor peers over my shoulder to look at Teo, who was still within earshot. Does he still need help? I can go find another staff member if you... Forget it, this is starting to get real annoying now. Oh, Teo. Move. What was that for? Teo doesn't wait for a response, as he shoulders past Ren and makes his way towards one of the exits. Did I say something wrong? No, he's just a bitch. Perhaps I should go and apologize. No. You didn't do anything wrong. Here, I'll go talk to him. You stay here with Ren. Wait. You don't have to, Kit. Before I can follow after Teo, I feel someone tug at the sleeve of my jacket. Ren? You don't have to go after Teo, just leave him. Maybe you're right, but I know Teo better than everyone else here, and I know he's only going to sulk and be a pain about it for the next few days, okay? It's probably best if I do something about it now, otherwise we'll just suffer for it later. You guys really don't want to see a mopey Teo. Here, I'll come with you then. No, it's okay. You stay here and enjoy the rest of the day with Eleanor. Besides, didn't you two hit it off back at the library? I'm sure she won't mind, right, Elle? Oh, right. I do hope I didn't bore you to death with my talk about native flowers. What? I mean, no, not at all, but... Angel, did it really look like that to you? Because... Before Ren can finish his sentence, my eyes wander towards Teo's figure slipping through a crowd of people as he pulls out his phone. And before I realize it, my feet start to move on autopilot as I chase after him. I don't want to. Let him leave. He can be mopey. I don't care. Sorry, but I really need to... he's already gone. I'll be back. Promise. Now leaving the two of them behind, I make my way towards the opening of the food court, and through the seemingly endless maze of fish tanks. Why am I doing this? I don't want to be doing this. Pushing open the heaven doors? Damn. I died. To the back entrance, I aimlessly peer around the hallway and search for my grumpy, and perhaps even childish, friend. My instincts tell me to head towards the hustle and bustle of the main street, but as I round the corner, I bump into someone's chest. Hey. Whoa, sorry. Guess I wasn't looking where... Wait. Kit? Leon, what are you doing here? I was just about to go after Teo. It might be best to let him cool off a bit, yeah? I just saw him sulk off in that direction. Plus, he seemed kind of off in the group chat. Yeah, I figured he'd message you guys. Well, actually, he messaged Jay, who then messaged me, but he sent it to the wrong chat, so now here I am. I was on my way back from the hospital anyway. I figured I'd pop in and see what was up. Well, I guess now you know. Yeah, I suppose. But look, seeing as Jay's aware of everything now, maybe it's best to let him handle Teo, yeah? You think so? Leon gives me a non-committal shrug of his shoulders before gesturing for me to follow him. It might help diffuse the situation. I mean, Jay has known him since elementary school. If he's been able to put up with Teo for that long, then I'm sure he'll be better help than us. Maybe you're right. Still not convinced? If you still want to go talk to Teo, we can. I don't mind tagging along, and... No, it's just... I can't help but feel like this is all somehow my fault. I mean, I know it's not, but... You know how Teo can get, especially when he's told not to do something. Yeah, but I can't help but wonder if I could have been nicer about it, more kinder? I didn't think he'd react this way when I told him not to. Nah, I think this is what Teo needs. He doesn't show it, but he's always been coddled by everyone, even his parents. And all those people he hangs out with in the city, I can almost see where he gets his mindset from. Teo never used to be like this, you know, back when we were younger. But I guess this is what happens when you've been denied genuine attention for most of your life. He doesn't know how to handle someone telling him no whenever he does something crazy, but it's not entirely his fault. Aside from his questionable friends, Teo also grew up with distant parents. Whenever he wanted attention or affection from them, he'd often have to do something brash just to get their attention. But it never lasted long. They'd just throw money in his direction and eventually ignore him again. It's pretty sad, honestly. I think all he wants is for someone to actually acknowledge him for who he is, not how he acts. I'm sure you've noticed it, right? Everyone wants to use him for his money, looks, and popularity. I doubt he's got any real friends, you know, aside from us. Oh, and Jay, of course. Outside of our friend group, I doubt Teo surrounds himself with genuine, good-hearted people. I bet his mates from the city don't even have his best interests at heart. But mushy rant aside, I'm glad you were able to get to be his voice of reason. After everything he's been through, he needs someone like you. Someone who will stop him from doing things he'll regret later, and to keep him in line whenever he says something insensitive. A true friend. Wow. I honestly didn't know that about Teo. Or that Leon thought of me that way. I didn't even know how to respond. Though I guess I didn't need to, considering how Leon continued to talk. But enough about him. Jay's on his way back from the city now, so we should leave Mr. Moody to him. Besides... With a grin, Leon tosses an arm over my shoulder and pulls me onto the street. I want to spend some time with you. I think it's long overdue, yeah? I mean, I never even got to go on that aquarium gate with you guys. Oh no, how dreadful. It is truly a heartbreaking thought. I don't think I'll be able to go on. My heart yearns to be by your side, but alas, 'twas not meant to be. Alright, let's go, theater kid. What gave it away? With a playful eye roll, I nudge my childhood friend with my hip to get him moving again. But what takes me by surprise is how he casually grabs my hand in his and leads me down the street. We're just leaving them at the aquarium? This almost feels like old times, back when we used to run hand in hand towards our favorite playground after school. I wonder, was Leon thinking the same thing as me? But when I glance upwards to check, I instead take notice of the destination my companion was leading me towards. After all, the massive umbrella made it hard to miss. A soft smile pulls at my features from the nostalgic sight before me, and I give Leon's hand a gentle squeeze to let him know about my excitement. I can feel him do the same to my hand in return, which only makes my grin grow even wider. An ice cream stand, huh? Yeah, it's been a while since we've visited one of these, hasn't it? Why am I here? That's true. I wonder if they still sell all those wacky flavors. Did you just call my favorite flavor wacky? I can't believe it. Why, I would never. Oh, really? Do you even remember what it is? Duh, it's... mint chocolate chip. You're pulling my leg. Wait, it's not? I swear I've seen you eat it before. Nah, I only ate it because one of our old classmates didn't like ice cream. I didn't want her to feel bad about wasting food. But that's not the point, because now it's your turn. Huh? My turn? Oh, are you gonna guess my favorite flavor now? Of course I am. It's only fair. And also because I remember your favorite flavor too. Is that so? I mean, as long as it hasn't changed over the years. No, it's still the same. Then there was no way he was going to guess it correctly. But now that I think about it, what is my favorite ice cream flavor? I should probably have one in mind before he guesses. I get to write it in. Ooh, exciting. Get ready for this answer. Whoa. But just as I think of my answer, Leon speaks it into existence with a knowing, toothy grin. The ringing of his laughter drowns out the ending of his response, but I heard him clear as day. How did you... Sunfish, I think it's time I told you. I'm a mind reader. Whoa. What number am I thinking of right now? 4? No, 60. 4.60? What? That's such a specific number. Yeah, well, that's how much we owe this fine gentleman. With a smile, he gestures towards the person who served us ice cream. Not wanting to make the people in line wait any longer, I fish out the loose change Leon gave me earlier and pay for our desserts. Seemingly satisfied, we make our way down the footpath to find somewhere to sit and eat. Again, I feel bad for leaving Ren and Eleanor just by themselves, but okay. Eventually, Leon... The only thing that I can think of is this scene where I, like, rejected Teo. If I were to instead wait for one of them to, like, notice me, maybe this wouldn't have happened, but that's such a specific thing. I don't know. Eventually, Leon leads me to a nearby park, where we plop down on one of the benches and kick up our feet. We spend a long while just chatting and catching each other up on all the things that happened in our lives during our time apart, and soon enough all of our ice cream was gone and the sun was slowly beginning to set. A comfortable silence blankets the both of us, as Leon casually throws his arms behind his head and closes his eyes. He seems at peace like this, almost as if the stress of his day-to-day life had been stripped away. But even with Leon's eyes closed, I couldn't help but feel like someone, or something, was watching me. An eerie feeling washes over me, and I cast a hesitant glance over my shoulder to spot anything out of place. Nothing but the gentle rush of foliage and the wind greets me, and yet I still couldn't seem to shake off the lingering feeling of something hiding behind one of the bushes. What if it was just as I was finally starting to relax and unwind again, I went and ruined it all by getting worked up once more. Quietly slapping my cheeks, I tried to expel those thoughts from my mind, but the sound I made must have been louder than it felt because Leon's golden eyes soon blink open to look in my direction. Sorry, I almost dozed off there. It's so peaceful out here I could probably fall asleep. Whoa, check that out. I follow Leon's finger towards the sky, only to notice ominous dark clouds rolling in from the distance. You're kidding. Was it seriously about to start raining again? But now that I look closer, do clouds normally get that dark? Even from afar, it almost looks like black smoke enveloping some of the taller buildings in the heart of Cortland Bay. It almost seemed unnatural. All too quickly, the soft timbre of Leon's voice cuts through my thoughts. As fun as today has been, we should probably start heading back before it starts pouring down buckets, yeah? Here, I'll walk you home. He offers a hand to help me up from the bench, but just as I take it, I hear a twig snapping from somewhere behind me. But before I can react, the muted sound of thunder cuts me off. Thanks, Leon, but your place is in the opposite direction, isn't it? I wouldn't want to make you walk all the way back. That'll be fine, I don't mind walking. What if it starts raining? A little rain never hurt anyone. Something tells me it won't be a little bit of rain. Actually, Yeah, you might be right. Me? Being right? Could it be? What date is it? Is there a blue moon? Knock it off. But, hey, are you sure you don't want me to walk you home? I'm sure. Besides, I could use some alone time. The past few days have been hectic, to say the least. Yeah, well, so long as you don't stress yourself out or anything. If you need a vent, you know who to call. Teo? Okay. Despite saying that I'd be perfectly fine walking home on my own, Leon ended up accompanying me to the entrance of my apartment complex before finally parting ways. It was nice, being able to catch up with him like this, and I genuinely find myself wondering if we could do it again in the future. But as I make my way towards the door, my eyes wander towards the small box sitting atop my doormat, okay? Panic flashes through me at the thought of it being another gift from my supposed stalker, but then I remember the purchase I made this morning. That must be my security cameras. Deftly picking it up, I put it under an arm as I fish for my keys in one of my pockets. But as I do so, I barely make out the sound of something behind me. Muffled footsteps echo from somewhere down the stairwell, indicating that someone was there, and that they were getting close. The thought alone sends a surge of panic through my body as I tense up. Was that? I desperately try to ignore the sudden dread of anxiety building up as my hand fumbles to unlock the door. There's a few more twists and clicks of my key before... I had a feeling. Oh, he was saying something. I didn't think it was going to go past. Okay, so he says, Angel, I'm glad I caught you. Ren? Jeez, you almost gave me a heart attack. Huh? Oh, sorry. It's fine. What are you doing here? Stealing my nerves, I try to calm down my rapid heartbeat and meet Ren's gaze. There's a flicker of worry in his eyes, but it all fades away the moment he takes a step closer to me. I don't suppose you're missing something, are you? Huh? I tried to recount all the things I've been carrying around today, but when nothing of note comes to mind, Ren shoots me a bright smile and pulls something from behind his back. It was... Oh, my phone! And our food from earlier. I figured you didn't have dinner yet. I also added something extra in there as well. As if realizing how suspicious his words sounded, Ren's cheeks immediately flush a deep red as he backtracks and stutters out a response. Dessert. It's a dessert. I bought it on the way here. You don't have to eat it, though. Oh? Peering into the bag still being held tightly in Ren's grasp, I noticed the food, an adorable angelfish plushie, and... Was that a small cup of vanilla ice cream sitting on top? Wow, my favorite flavor. How did you know? Before I can snoop any further, it's a little bit boring being vanilla, you know, because like if I had said, I don't know, pistachio, that's specific. He really had to go somewhere to get pistachio flavored ice cream. But vanilla, he went to literally any store. He went to 7-Eleven, like... Before I can snoop any further, his soft voice interrupts my train of thoughts. Actually, your coworker seemed really worried about you too. She wanted to be the one to drop these off, but... something came up. Uh-huh. As for your phone, you left it near the storage closet. Here, oh. As if noticing my current predicament, Ren looks at my occupied arms before giving me another soft smile. It'd be nice to have more hands sometimes, huh? Need some help? It's fine, I think I got it. Just when I think my door is unlocked, I somehow lose my grip around the parcel in my hands. But luckily, Ren catches it just in time before handing it, and everything else, back to me. Say, that sure is heavy, huh? With how obvious Ren's gaze was, I could tell he wanted to ask what was inside it. Surely there wouldn't be anything wrong with telling him. Oh, I bought a security system this morning, because of how shady this neighborhood is. I figured it'd be a good idea to be safer than sorry. That creep didn't come back, did they? They did. Without thinking, I drop my keys and slap a hand over Ren's mouth before cautiously looking over my shoulder. What was I even doing? I was getting worked up and acting paranoid again. With an embarrassed look, I turned back to apologize to Ren, only to find his cheeks a deep red and a hand wrapped around my wrists. When did he? Quickly withdrawing my hand, I squeak out an apology before picking up my keys and turning back to my door. I still didn't want to get Ren involved with my problems, but I honestly didn't want to risk being alone tonight either. Too lost in my own world, I barely noticed Ren coming closer, nor his hand covering my keys to steady my fidgeting. Do you want some help? He must have seen the look of confusion on my face because he continues talking. Setting up your cameras, self-taught programmer, remember? I'm sure I can figure it all out. Plus, it'd save you having to call someone to install them. He did have a point. And I'd honestly feel safer if I weren't alone tonight. Still, I'd been spending so much time with Ren lately, and I didn't want to get him fed up with me and my presence. Would it be a good idea? Yeah. I'm kind of scared, bro. Maybe it would be a good idea after all. Would you mind? I probably look pathetic with how I barely make any eye contact, instead choosing to stare at my door rather than Ren, but he doesn't seem to mind, or perhaps he simply chooses not to comment on it. I'd be happy to, Angel. With a smile, I open the door and let Ren inside. I want to check my social media. I feel like it's going to rain soon. You were right. Looking for a man to send me. Nope, nothing new. Damn. You know, I think we have the same mirror. Oh? Putting the small talk aside for a moment, I usher the pink-haired person into my living room and situate ourselves on the couch. Ren wastes no time in opening my package, placing all the bits and pieces on the table, and setting off to work, though every so often he'd sneak a peek in my direction whenever he thinks I'm not looking. Did he want something? Raising a brow, I send him a silent question. I don't mean to pry into your personal life, but, you know, you're always welcome to stay at my apartment. Ren, I've seen where you live. I doubt I could afford rent. You could stay for free. I don't mind at all. And I'm more than capable of covering your cost. I'd make a really good roommate, too. I always clean up after myself, and I wouldn't mind doing the same for you as well. Though only if you'd be fine with it, though. And I can cook as well. Laundry, cleaning, repairing things around the house, yard work. I can do it all for you, really. You have a yard? Man, they really can fit a lot in those upscale apartments, huh? Well, no, I don't, but I used to do the gardening and use the lawnmower a lot when I was younger. I'm sure I can figure it all out again. Not that I need to, though, like you said, no yard. No offense, Ren, but I can't imagine someone like you mowing grass. Was that your first job as a teen? Before that, actually. You mean as a child? Maybe a bit younger? Younger? I mean, just kidding. Yeah, it was my first job as a teenager. Anyway, the point is, I'd be happy to let you stay at my place. I don't even think a toddler can touch the handlebars of a lawnmower, my good bitch. I'm trying to imagine it. Well, I really appreciate the offer, Ren, but I gotta tough this one out on my own. Oh, if you say so. He goes quiet after that. Picking up the manual, Ren tries to busy himself with learning how to connect the cameras to my Wi-Fi, before tossing it aside and doing it his own way. Deciding not to get in the way, I curl up on the couch with my food and simply observe him. I won't lie, watching Ren's hands deftly connect cables and unscrew plates was kind of attractive, but I wasn't going to say anything. And soon enough, the events of the evening slowly draw out, as I start to feel the telltale signs of weariness take hold of me. I try my best to muffle my yawn, before I glance up at the clock on my wall to read the time, just past midnight. Dang, I hadn't even realized we'd been at this for so long. Tired? Ren's voice startles me, and I glance back to see that he already put down the cameras and was reclining in his seat to fully look at me. Kind of. It's been a long day. You can head to bed if you want. I'll set this all up and lock up once I'm done. You're still going to go home after this? You want me to stay? Did I? I said yes before. Strange. Perhaps it was because we'd been spending so much time together, but I'd somehow grown fond of Ren's presence. It was comforting to have him near, though I wasn't about to tell him that, so with an affirmative nod, I make the decision. Yeah, I do. Oh. Ren's grin practically reaches his ears as he laughs to himself. Okay, sure, no problem. I can't help but playfully roll my eyes at his enthusiasm. Well then, why don't I get some pillows and blankets and we can camp out here for the night? Just like a sleepover? Sure. His toothy grin reminds me of my childhood days, back when I'd beg all the adults to let some of my friends from school stay the night. With all of us wrapped up in padded blankets, I'd cuddle up on the couch with everyone until we'd all fall asleep. But it wasn't Leon who came to mind, it was someone else. Their face was blurry, but I could make out tufts of black hair from within the blankets surrounding us, and the same toothy grin Ren was giving me. But when I focus my attention back on him, I notice that the smile is gone, and he's instead looking at me with a confused look on his face. I must have been spacing out again. Sorry, I'll go get those pillows now. Let me know if you need any help. Ren's response gets drowned out as I flee into the hallway. It took a while, but Ren managed to set the cameras up and hook it all up to an app on my phone, all while I made myself comfortable on the couch. He explained how to use it, but if I were being honest, I started to nod off once he started geeking out about the different kinds of alarm buttons. Before I know it, my head falls onto his shoulder with a soft thump, and I can feel Ren's body shake as he lets out a faint laugh. Something moves from the chair next to him before a warm duvet is wrapped around my shoulders. I can feel Ren pull me to his side before we both fall backwards onto the couch. His chest softens the blow, and with one of his hands gently threading through my hair, I slowly start to drift off. Nostalgia greets me once more, and before my consciousness fades away, I try to chase after that foggy memory that had been plaguing my brain as of late. Those 3 kids laughing and playing together near a lake. Who were they? And who was the one that stayed right by my side even after everyone else went home? Almost desperately, I try to recall their face, or any of their defining features, really. At this point, I'd take anything. But it's all for naught when I feel Ren's lips fall to the crown of my head to place a chaste kiss. Sleep well, kid. With his comforting voice in my mind, I slowly start to slip away. All right, and with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here for now. Like I've been saying, I'm so confused by this game. And I think that's really making me enjoy the game more than I was, is we are getting a little bit of intrigue, a little bit of a mystery into who is breaking into my house. You know, like I said in the previous episode, is Ren using this to his advantage to try to scare me into moving in with him? Or is it a random person? Another thing that I'm thinking of is like, I know behind the scenes outside of the game that he is stalking me. So wouldn't he know if I had a stalker? Therefore, it makes sense that it's him. But some of the things that's like happening in this, I'm like, I'm not 100% sure. But we will see how it goes in day 5. Reminder that this is just a demo. We only have 5 days of the demo. And so we're probably not going to get an answer to this question. But I am very interested in seeing all of the details that I can possibly obtain of this information and see if I can kind of try to figure it out, try to have a hypothesis of what is going on. But anyway, I need to end this episode here so we can actually stop and maybe get into day 5 eventually. So thank you for watching this episode. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one for some more 14 days with you.